Okay, these are your notes for Algebra 1 on 4.2, Writing Systems of Equations. So we had our introduction to systems of equations yesterday, and so today we're actually going to look at real situations and see if we can't figure out how to put the equations together that would help us solve them. So our procedure when we do that is to define the variables and then set up the equations. So let's look at this first situation and then we'll try it. Ellie bought 2 popcorns and 1 hot dog for $7 at the Pierce football game. Mia bought 1 popcorn and 1 hot dog and spent $5. Write a system of equations that could be used to determine the cost of a hot dog and the cost of popcorn. So you can see this little call-out box right here that says let statements. And here's what we mean by a let statement. We are going to define the variables. Now remember, a variable, we talked about this yesterday, a variable is a letter or a symbol that we use to represent something. So most of the time in algebra we're using x's and y's, right? So let's use an x and a y. How about we let x equal popcorn? And then let's let y equal a hot dog. So if I wanted to set up an equation for this situation, what would it be? Well, in the first one we have 2 popcorns, 1 hot dog costs $7. So we would say 2 times x plus 1y, like that, is equal to 7. We could write it like this, write it with the cents on there. And then the other one would be x plus y equals 5. Now all we're doing right today is setting up the systems. So that's all we need to do is set it up. But I do want us to look at the picture and see, is there a way we could figure out how much one of them costs? Why don't you try and do that? Why don't you hit pause and see if you can figure out how much is a popcorn and how much is a hot dog. So try that yourself. So let's see here. If the popcorn, I hope you gave it a try. If this popcorn and hot dog cost $5, then we know that this popcorn and hot dog cost $5. So that means if it would cost $7 total, that means that a popcorn is $2. And so if that popcorn's $2, this one's $2, and that makes hot dog 3, because it needs to add up to 7. 2 plus 2 is 4, plus 3 is 7. And here's $2, $3 for the hot dog, $5, and that would solve the system of equations. Okay, now we set it up as an equation, and as we go further into this unit, we'll show you how you can solve it just using the equation and without the pictures. Okay, let's try the next one. It says Robert and Juanita both bought fruit baskets at the farmer's market. The contents and cost of each of their baskets is shown below. They lost their receipts and can't remember how much the unit price of an apple and a pear is. Write a system of equations that could be used to solve for the unit price of an apple and a pear. Okay, so remember, let statements are to help us define our variables. So how about we let x equal apples and y equal pears. And so I want to write a system for this picture right here. So let's count out how many apples we have. We have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 apples. So 9 times x plus 5 times y is equal to $5.25. On the second picture, we have 7 apples, 9x plus 4y equals $4.10. And there we've solved it. I mean, we haven't solved it. We have set it up. So we'll learn more as we go forward on how to solve. Right now, we're just setting up. So I want you to try the next one yourself. See if you can read the question and write let statements and set up two equations that we could use to solve. So give it a try, hit pause, and then I'll come back and show you. So on this one, we had a volleyball game with reserve seat tickets and general admission. So then the question tells us about the number of people that came and the amount of money that they made from the tickets. So we're going to do our let statements, and then we're going to write two different types of equations. One that deals with the number of people and one that deals with the money. So let's write our let statements. How about we let X equal general admission. Wait, let me write that a little differently. We say let X equal the number of general admission tickets and let's Y equal the number of reserved seats. Okay, now you may have done that the other way. In fact, now that I look at the question, let's flip-flop those. I'm going to make X the reserve seats and Y the general admission because that's the one they gave us first. That's the only reason I'm doing that. I'm guessing that's what you did too. Okay, so X will be the number of reserve tickets and Y the number of general admission. Now, we're going to do two types of equations. One dealing with the number of people who attended, and one dealing with the amount of money. And we're going to use these variables. So if X is the number of reserve tickets and Y is the number of general admission tickets, and there were 178 people that came through the gates with tickets, we can write an equation like this. X plus Y equals 178. Because all of the general admission tickets and all of the reserve tickets added up would be the total number of people. So that's X plus Y equals 178. Now let's do one for the amount of money. So reserve tickets cost $4 and general admissions cost $3. So let's set that up. So reserve tickets are $4. So 4 times X plus 3 times Y equals, and here's the amount of money, 612. So there's the two equations that we would use in this system. One dealing with the people, one dealing with the money, and both of them using our variables that we set up. Okay, let's look at the back. Okay, so on number 4, it says Bill and Steve decide to spend the afternoon at an amusement park enjoying their favorite activities, the watered slide and the gigantic Ferris wheel. Their tickets are stamped each time they slide or ride. At the end of the afternoon, they have the following tickets. So you can see the number of water slides they did and Ferris wheels and then how much money they spent. Write a system of equation to determine how much it costs to ride the Ferris wheel and the water slide. So let's write our let statements. Remember, something's going to be X and something's going to be Y. Let's let X equal the water slides. And we'll let Y equal the Ferris wheel. Now I bet you can write the equations. Why don't you hit pause and write your two equations, and then you can check and see if they're right. Okay, so I hope this is what you have. That 3 times X plus 3 times Y equals 1770. That's Bill's ticket. And Steve's ticket is 2X plus 3Y equals 1555. Let's look at number 5. Marcos had 15 coins in nickels and quarters. He had 3 more quarters than nickels. Write a system of equations that could be used to determine how many nickels and dimes Randy has. Now, perhaps on this one, instead of using X and Y, how about we go, let's do our let statements, and let's let N equal the number of nickels. And then let's let Q equal the number of quarters. You don't have to use X and Y. Let's use N and Q. So if he has 15 coins and he has 3 more quarters than nickels. So there's 2 things that we need to deal with here. First, we need to deal with the total number of coins. And then we need to deal with the relationship here between the quarters and nickels. So this is number of coins, and this is the relationship between the two. So let's write 2 equations. First one with the number of coins. The total number of coins is 15. Well, if N is the total of nickels and Q is the total of quarters, N plus Q is going to equal 15. Now, let's look at the second one. This one's going to be a little more difficult. It says, Marcos had 3 more quarters than he does nickels. So I want you to think about this because we want to write an equation. If you want to know how many quarters he has, what we really need to do is talk about the nickels. So because he has nickels, he has 3 more quarters than he does nickels. So if N is the nickels plus 3 more is going to equal the quarters. So that's how we would write that. Or you could also write it, the quarters minus 3 is equal to the number of nickels. Because he has 3 more quarters than he does nickels. So you want to take the nickels, add 3 to that number, and you're going to end up with the number of quarters. Okay, so either this one or this one would work for the second equation. Okay, number 6. The breakfast menu lists 2 eggs with 1 sausage patty for $2.23 and 3 eggs with 2 sausage patties for $3.76. Set up a system of equations that would determine the cost of 1 egg and 1 sausage. Okay, so I'm going to go back to X and Y on this one, but remember, you can use whatever variables you want. I'm going to we always say let X equal the cost of an egg. And then let's Y equal the cost of a sausage. So we want to write 2 equations. So we can say 2 times X, 2 eggs, so 2 times X, plus the cost of 1 sausage, so that would be 1Y, like that, is equal to $2.23. Our second equation is 3 eggs plus 2 sausages equals $3.76. Now there you go. We have set up a bunch of systems of equations, and tomorrow we're going to start solving these. So right now you're getting very good at setting them up. Then we're going to learn how to solve them and figure out the answers to all these. What's the value of X? What's the value of Y? Okay, so I hope you're learning something, and we'll see you in class. Bye.